All right, get ready to pay more for all sorts of Chinese goods. A new round of tariffs took effect yesterday. Give you a look at some of the things that will cost more. Everything from diapers to televisions, direct consumer goods coming from China. Myron Brilliant, head of international affairs at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, tells the Wall Street Journal the tariffs, import taxes by any other name, are or will cost every American household between $600 and $1,000 by the end of the year. Joining us now, Gene Marks, CPA, business journalist for Forbes.com and the Washington Examiner. Good to see you, sir. All right. The White House seems to be moving away from the talking point and the fallacy that the Chinese are paying for the tariffs, and now making this argument that it is a national security argument to take on the Chinese and not be dependent on them. How long will small businesses be able to, be willing to endure the pain based on that argument?
Well, Leland, great to talk with you as well. You know what? It kind of depends on the small business and how well they're positioned for this, because this thing is going to be going on for a while. Even if there is some agreement with China in the next few months, that agreement is going to need to be reported on and validated. And I'm telling my clients, my readers, my community to really kind of hunker down for these price increases over the next year. But don't forget this much, Leland, right? Like for the past, like decades, my clients, my readers, these are small and medium-sized companies. They have been begging for some type of relief against China. There is, allegedly market manipulations and dumping of products and stealing of technology and all sorts of complaints.
I'm not sure you need to add allegedly there.
Yeah, well, these things are really happening. And so this is the time now. And I'm telling you from my readers and the clients that I talk to, many of the business owners are prepared to take that hit. Now, just because tariffs are going up doesn't necessarily mean that prices are going to whole-scale increase. Some business owners are going to suck it up and absorb it. Some people are going to raise prices a little bit. Others that I know are looking for alternative suppliers. But Leland, this is a war that we are talking about, and if we are not ready to have this war now, we're never going to be ready to have it.
The point is a good one, which is that it becomes harder and more expensive to deal with this problem tomorrow than it is today, yes. And it's harder and more expensive today than it would have been in the 1990s, say. Take a listen to President Trump, though, talking about businesses who are being hit by the tariffs.
Okay.
A lot of badly run companies are trying to blame tariffs. In other words, if they're running badly and they're having a bad quarter, or they're just unlucky in some way, they're liking to blame the tariffs. It's not the tariffs. It's called bad management.
So I guess all your clients that are having a hard time are bad managers.
I have a comment on that as well. Of course, not all clients are bad managers. And I don't mean to pick on one sector either, but I wrote about this for The Hill a couple of months ago. I have some clients and know some people that are farmers. They're soybean farmers. 100% of their business has come from China over the past few years. And I sympathize with their plight. But sometimes I think to myself, okay, guys, President Trump has been talking about going after China for 10 years, even longer. When a guy like that gets elected president and you see the storm clouds on the horizon, do you have some alternative products or alternative suppliers?
Look, Gene, I've talked to a lot of soybean farmers. I've talked to a lot of soybean farmers. There is not another soybean market. That was what this market was.
Completely agree. And again, I without attacking soybean farmers, because these are good people and trying hard, but there are alternative products that can be farmed on that same land. And there are some moves that a soybean farmer could make to maybe just temper the blow. So I'm not going to agree with the president 100%. Of course, there are some small business owners that they're affected and they can't do anything about it.
There's a lot of people who can't move their supply chains.
They can't, but there are a lot of alternatives around the country, and there are a lot of other things that business owners can do right now to prepare themselves for ongoing price increases. Yeah. Are they going to pass them down to customers? Are they going to just absorb them a little bit or find alternatives? In other words, I think the president is basically saying, we're in this war right now. We have a battle to fight. Now is the time. And listen, if you're a business owner, look, nobody's getting killed out there, but you got to take some actions on your own to look after your own business. I agree.
Maybe nobody getting killed, but I've talked to a lot of people who have been laid off because of these tariffs, who certainly feel the effects at home. Gene, we got to leave it there. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Leland. You take care.
Take care. As you point out, we're going to be talking about this for a long time. Julie?
All right. Reports of historic devastation from Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas, where